kurang bisan wai jangama kurang bisan ya matrenelo iyan dem marong iyan den jai kai wai iyan dem marong suma iyan dem marong kai wai kurang bisan wai jangama mernala big wajal sumanje ke naise yo ya maton iyan kilime na fonye bang fan tv iyan kilime na fonye bang fan tv iyan kilime na fonye bang.
Hello, viewers. Just to remind you that this is Fine TV Gambia, and this is another edition of the Poetry Cabinet. And today I'll be your host, Awa Kamara. Well, today with me, it's a poet a renowned poet in the Gambia that you would like to know more about. So I would like him to introduce himself for the benefit of the viewers out there. So you're welcome, Usman.
Thank you so much. Good day, everyone. My name is Ousman Barrow, like she rightfully mentioned. I am a spoken word poet, and my stage name is The Last Poet King. Yeah, that's it.
Wow, The Last Poet King. I know the viewers will be wondering what does The Last Poet King mean. So, Usman, you're welcome to Fine TV, and I believe it will be an interacting session for that. Okay,
Thank you.
Why do you choose The Last Poet King?
It's amazing. I believe the reason I started spoken word poetry is because I used to be a writer. I used to write some quotes on my status. So I think one time I continued writing on my status, and I used to write after writing whatever I would write The Last Poor King. So I used to have a mentor. She's now in the United States of America. So she suggested to me that why not you change this Last Poor King? What do you mean? So I decided to change the poor to poet, because by then I've started writing spoken word poetry, or poetry itself. So that's the reason why I said the last poet king. But also, I think the most fascinating thing about it is that I believe in the fact that I feel that I'm the last very best poet of this country. So I decided to choose the name The Last Poet King.
Wow, that is amazing. The Last Poet King.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not alone in the studio, and with my co-host Farjan.
Good afternoon, wonderful viewers. My name is Fatu Jan, and I will be the co-host for today's Poetry Cabinet. Well, The Last Poet King, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And my first question is, what are some of the challenges you face as a poet?
All right. So thank you very much for that wonderful question. First of all, I would have to start with my background. I live in Brikama. So one of the reasons why I feel it's challenging for us poets in Brikama is because we feel most of us feel marginalized, in the sense that, like, most of the events that happen with regard to poetry, it is centered in the far urban, that is around Serekunda, Westfield, whatever, Caniving. So it affects the audience that are coming from Brikama, because they feel it's far. Also, like, most of the time, the people who are most recommended are those people who are there.
Yes.
You understand? So I think that is one challenge that we really face when it comes to spoken word poetry. Myself, I think the other challenge right now, it's not actually a challenge, actually, because a lot of people are getting to know me and appreciate what I do. But in the beginning, people did not understand my form of poetry. So that became a challenge. Also, as a beginner, I did not know how to perform poetry. So performance poetry and written poetry are totally different things. These are also some challenges that I used to face. And right now, also another challenge that I face, which I feel everybody should know, is that, most of us are invited and we are not given fare to go.
Yes.
You understand? And we are invited with the notion that, you are going to just come and perform, and that will be the end. You understand? But if we could get the support, well, I think this is not a challenge that myself alone is facing, but I feel a lot of people are facing. We should respect the art, yeah.
Sure. Okay, you talk about the form of poetry you do, and most people don't know about it. Can you please tell us the form of poetry you do? Do you do love poetry, or you do poetry based on societal view, or you just do both?
All right, so this might come off as a bluff, but I have to say it outright. The truth is, I am a pioneer. A pioneer in the sense that I believe, like, I've structured myself as a spoken word poet in a way that you would see that my style of poetry almost is dynamic in pattern of performance, and dynamic in the ways I present my theme. Yes. You understand? So basically what I'm trying to say is that I touch all facets of life. You understand? I speak about love, I speak about money, I speak about poverty, I speak about government, and that catalog is presented in my social media handle.
Wow, that is an amazing style of poetry.
Yeah.
So what was your first poem, like the first poem, if you can remember it?
That's an amazing question. The funny part about it is that I can't really remember my first poem. My first poem that I've written, I presented it to someone. I think people might remember a spoken word poet called Lamin Barrow.
Yes.
Yeah, he's an amazing poet. And he's one of the people who inspired me when I was in high school. So what happened was that when he presented on stage, one time on assembly, I decided that I was going to do spoken word poetry. So I spoke to someone that I am going to start doing spoken word poetry. The person said to me that I don't think you can do it, because already I was renowned in drama. I was very good in performing drama. So the person said I could do drama better. If I decided to do spoken word poetry, it would not be good. So I decided to go and prove myself. So when I wrote the piece, I took it to Lambaro. Can you imagine what this guy did? This guy looked at my piece and started scratching all the lines. That is when I realized I was bad at it. So my first piece, I can't actually remember. Even though, later I made it better, then I memorized it. But I kind of forgot most of the lines. And I think one of the few first poems that I've written, most of them are on my audio mark. Yeah.
Okay, my question is, why do you come up with a different style of poetry?
All right, why did I come with a different style of poetry? So I feel like distinguishing yourself from the crowd makes you stand out.
Sure, yeah, sure.
Imagine if there is a group of wolves, and all of you have the same color.
Yeah.
You are not going to stand out.
Yeah.
No matter how much you are going to oof, but you are not going to stand out. The only thing that can make you stand out if you have a different color of yourself. All of you are white, but you decide to go and enter the mud and come out black. Everybody will turn looking at you, right? So, like I said, I'm a pioneer in the sense that before I came into the spoken word arena, I decided to look into the spoken word arena. Who are those who are there, first of all? What do they do? And how do they do it? So when I looked at them, I feel like myself as an audience at the time, I wanted a different taste, so that motivated me. Okay. You understand, to want to be different. But also, like, I'm a person who loves challenges. I love challenges, so I decided, I'm going to challenge myself to write something very different. So if you pay attention to my every poem since I started poetry, if you pay attention very closely, you will realize that every piece is a different kind of standard. Hopefully, as this goes on, you will see what I'm talking about. But almost all my pieces have a different kind of taste, a different kind of performance that it challenges the audience to look for.
Yeah, for sure. Because back then, few years ago, I believe you were part of the Poetry Slam, and I do follow that, and it was amazing.
Exactly.
So I knew you since at the Poetry Slam, and it was just amazing. So what gave you the motivation to continue with spoken word, regardless of the concept people have about the poetry industry in the Gambia, but you still keep on pushing in the spoken word poetry?
All right. Again, that's a wonderful question. But again, I've answered that in the beginning. When I said I love challenges. So because I love challenges, I have challenged myself to keep pushing no matter what. So in the beginning, like I said, people did not love my style of poetry. People did not understand the way I write. You understand? But then there is very, very big-headed people during the time of my poetry slam.
Yes.
And especially the judges. Funny story, the judges did not like me. No, they never liked me. I could actually see it even in the way they gave their remarks during the poetry slam. So what happened was that even though I observed that they did not like it, there is one particular judge who is very, very smart, very intelligent young man. I don't know if you hear about him. He's called Uncle Latirka. You understand? He's the one who stages the BM, that is Black Magic. Exactly. It's a production that happens every 25th of December. So he was part of the judges, And when I hear his way of criticizing how I was performing my spoken word, I felt like, no, like next time when I come, I'm going to prove to this guy that I can do better.
Yeah.
You understand? And already they have their favorites, you understand, during the Poetry Slam. So I said to myself, what actually is making them choose them over me? I would have to see in the next round. So every round, I would like to do something that is kind of crazy, but even though my performance was not kind of convincing. So I think that's the reason why the judges were kind of relaxed when I come to perform. Most of the audience did not know me, they did not like me. In fact, now most of the audience who were there, who are now some of them are now my fan. What they used to tell me is that during the Poetry Slam, you did not like your poetry. But there is one person who would tell me, during the Poetry Slam, you are kind of calm, kind of, smooth. I love that spoken word poet more than the one that is here now. But it's just an evolutionary process.
Sure. And people have different tastes on. Yeah, regarding that, we would like to hear a piece from you, like any piece. Since you have forgotten the first poem, then any piece is fine.
All right, so this is a kind of a long time ago piece, but let me see if I can remember most of the lines. So basically, let me just give you a rundown of the piece. The piece is talking about, for example, myself. I'm trying to ego trip, but also in my ego trip, I'm trying to challenge the Gambian audience who do not read.
Okay.
And even those who think they read but they don't read. It's different. It's different when you read and understand, and when you just read for the sake of it.
Reading, yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
So basically in this piece, I tried to challenge that. So I said, hello, my name is Ousman Barrow. First of my names, I am her first born son, the last poet king. The last very best poet ever to be born to this God-forsaken country. Forgive me. No, please forgive me. Forgive my frustrations. It is just that I am pissed. And who won't be? Listen, this country is sleeping in its waking. Our bounty is sleeping like the Simpsons. Our people are sloppy, tamed by the bite marks of mental slavery, nagging all about. Just turn around. Is this all the reading folks around? If truly the reading folks around to gain entry into the citadel of Greek philosophy in our libraries. Put word around. Readers speak, but they don't leer around. Just ask around, how many books are published for count? House frames nailed to the side of a desk and a dusty chair. Go ask around. We've made peace with ignorance. I will just summarize. It is no more a battle of how do we grow, because choice is customized. For us, reading is bastardized, made a common merchandise. It is food for thought we do not rationalize. Few are standard, but not even close, standard-wise. Nothing new to learn from some of these standard lies. Let me stop there.
Wow, that's amazing. That's just superb.
All right.
Okay, as you were saying about the reading culture, so I have a question. Like, what advice will you give to Gambians with regards to the reading culture? Because I once read a book and I saw something like, if you want to hide anything from Gambians, just put it in a book. And I was like, wow, this is really true. So what would you say about
I think fondly that has been narrowed down, but when you look at it, that has been said about African people. If you want to hide anything from an African man, just put it in a book. But the thing is, a lot of countries are now improving. A lot of countries normally read. When I listen to South African poetry, spoken word, that's amazing.
Sure.
I challenge you to just watch a video of South Africans performing spoken word. You'll be amazed. When you look at Kenyans, they're also doing very good when it comes to spoken word poetry. Ghanaians are amazing. Nigerians are so versatile that right now, when you mention the name IB Quick, people already know what you're talking about. Harvey, these are amazing spoken word poets. So coming back to the Gambia, when it comes to the reading culture, what I am going to, advise people is that us ourselves, the authors, let us do justice to what we write. I think the reason why people look low upon Gambian production, whether it is movie, whether it is music, whether it is spoken word poetry, I think it's the product that is given to the people. Imagine I give you distasteful food. Would you take any kind of food from me next time?
No.
So I think first step is that. The next thing is, okay, fine. I think the Gambian audience too should be willing. We should be willing. But a lot of people are lazy to challenge their brain. the secret is, and which is not going to be a secret after I mentioned, is I feel like that's why I stand out. You understand? Like I said, I'm a pioneer. When you go back to the poets, the poems that I've written before, like the poems that I've included some rhyming words in the ending part, where I say, for example, where I say, why are faces so strange in Kupo Kupo, so hard to read in Rogo Rogo. So the rhyming end is like the local language. I've done that in Mandinka. I feel like I pioneered that, but how does someone else think of something extraordinary in that form? And let me tell you a secret, maybe most of the people know. When I came to the spoken word poetry scene, that is when most of the people changed the way they write. I know it might sound like a bluff, but it's true. And go ask anybody who actually follow. If I move in a circle, right, and they hear my spoken word poetry, they feel challenged to go back and write better. So I feel it's the product. What are you giving to the audience? If you give people a bad book, next time you publish, they're not going to read it. That's it.
So regarding the product, and most of the time, if you interview these poets or actors, what they say is National Center for Arts and Culture and it's supporting. So what's your say about the National Center of Arts and Culture? Are they truly doing justice? Like, are they truly supporting more especially the poetry industry?
Okay, National Center for Art and Culture. National Center for Art and Culture. You've been a publisher before.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of. But first of all, what do you do? Like, do you approach them?
Yeah, you approach them for them to give you like recommendations
Okay.
regarding your book and support if there is any.
Okay, yeah, that's a very good one. Well, first of all, I think National Center for Art and Culture, I've been hearing about them so much when it comes to people who write books. And one time we used to have we had a workshop around Senegambia, and they came to us, they spoke to us about the importance of having a copyright, but also they also spoke to us about how they offer help to people. Also, okay, I'm not going to give them all the blame. What I'm going to say about National Center for Art and Culture is that maybe they should double up. Try to give more support to the people who approach them, because it's also the government attitude that you want to sit down and fold your hand for someone to come and fish you out. That cannot happen.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So basically, I think also people who are doing that are going to lose all forms of support from the National Center for Art and Culture, knowing that they are here for the art generally. So what they can do is, I feel, they should actually double up for those who they are helping, because if you help someone genuinely, it will trickle down. If they help you genuinely as a writer, as an author, at the end of the day, you are going to pass the information. So if you pass the information, so goodness spreads itself. Good work actually speaks for itself. So I feel if they do better, people are going to talk about them better than the rumors that have been going around about them not supporting. However,
Alright, regarding the same rumors, like we have been hearing people saying that the poetry industry will not move forward like the way people expect it. Like you have been talking about South African poets and Kenyan poets. Yes, they're doing great, but people say that Gambian poets are not truly united and they have this concept of being separated and they are not together and they just keep criticizing each other. What say do you have regarding that? Is that really true? Like, is Gambian poets really divided?
Okay, I'm going to start by saying there's this common saying that 99% of rumors are true. So it cannot totally be a lie.
Yes.
You understand? Yeah, it cannot totally be a lie. There must be some elements of truth. However, what I'm going to say is, it's true, the Gambian poet. Yeah, I really like Gambian poetry. The thing is, okay. Let us put this on a fact check, right? Wherever there is competition, right? There's a big crowd, there's competition. Do you think there's going to be peace? No, there's going to be some element of, or some degree of conflict or disagreement. Because every human being, especially in the art, almost every artist is a competitive mind. Almost every artist, whether it's a musician, you see that in our music industry. Every day people are talking about it. Just of recent, people are talking about Mike Jeda. Right now he's the talk of town because of the things he's saying about already. He's counterparts like Jizzle and ST. Even Jizzle and ST, we don't see them sitting down, so we assume that they are even competition amongst themselves. Who we always say that they have a different genre of music. What I'm trying to say is, it's not, that is not just peculiar to spoken word poetry. However, I'm going to speak for spoken word poetry. That is, as spoken word poets, I feel there should be more togetherness. You understand? I am going to say this, and I know if the person views this interview, the person would know that I'm referring to them. So what happened was, one time we went out, us as poets, because normally they would say, most of the people who normally observe the spoken word scene, what they say is that the spoken word arena has groups. You know, you have the high level, you have the middle class, you have the lower class, those who are really not respected and all that. So we were moving in our circle. In our circle, what I mean is, those of us who went to the Slam 2021, we are the ones who move. Now, when we were standing, there was a place that we were standing at, and there was another spoken word poet who did not go to the Slam and was around us. So he was there and did not come close to where we were standing, did not actually say hi, to be honest, you understand? But we were standing there. But I felt like the person felt like, already these people are a team, so I shouldn't go there, you know, because I feel like they are, that is what I feel though. Maybe he's thinking in his head, you know, I feel like we are detached, we are different kind of people. So while we were standing there, we were actually, you know, saying, you know, I think this guy should actually come closer so that we can do our stuff together. It's backbite, but it's true. You understand? So when we said that, the person did not actually do it. So later, I felt guilty about it, because for me, I have this thing about myself, like I don't like talking about people. You understand? So when I went home, I felt guilty, and I decided to text the person. I have the person's number, so I sent the message to the person. I said, why? I've heard people saying that most of the time you isolate yourself, and a lot of people say you are kind of rude, which I feel you have an element of. I said it to the person. Now I'm being honest to the person. I said, but I would like to advise you to actually do better, because not everybody can be wrong about you. You understand? Yeah, if you have 10 people and 9 people are saying you are bad, no, you are bad. Yeah, you are bad, because that means even though they are different people and you treat them differently, but they have one thing in common, which is your attitude towards them. So when I sent it to the person, I think the person saw themselves in it. You understand what I mean? So they became, I think they are upset, because after they said okay, no, it's all good. You understand? So by this show, I decided to invite the person. The person said, "Nah." I said to the person, "I'm going to be free." The person said, "No, I think I'm going to be busy, but however, I will check on my schedule." Till today, and you know, that is just days before the show. The person did not reach back. So you know what I mean is, there's some of us who actually feel like we are different. There's some of us who feel we are not different. Like myself, me, I associate with, you know, upcoming poets. Great poets, like they call them, or big poets, they call them big poets. You know, I associate with all of them. You understand? And myself, I don't see myself as one of the biggest poets, because I feel like still I'm not yet known. You understand? I'm not yet so known. I'm not yet so renowned like Omar Cham. But when I see him, I'll vibe with him. I don't feel like he is there. I don't feel like he is below. I just feel like he is just a colleague like me. You know, but there are some people who normally feel like, no, he is better than me, so I cannot socialize with him. Or, you know, if I text him, he will not reply. Did you text? No, you did not text. Oh, did you call? You did not call. But now you just come. So our conclusions and the fact that we are giving some levels to individuals that is making them big, you know, that is, you know, it's what is bringing up all these divisions and the competitive mind. You know, I want to be better. Oh, I feel like I am better than him. You understand? So no way I can bring myself below him, or I can associate myself, because obviously you have that notion. You know, so basically I feel like that is disturbing most of us.
Okay, so you already talk about the problem. So is there any means that you believe that can solve the problem, like resolutions to this problem?
All right, so I'm going to see what I've been doing. I don't know, probably you guys have not heard it. I used to do a show with Bintu Sane. She also, she was the Poetry Slam champion in 2021. That was the same bite that I went in. And then her and I are besties, you know, so we decided to stage an event. The event was named Poetry is Food Festival.
Yeah, I heard.
You heard of that, right?
Yes.
Poetry is Food Festival. So I felt like poetry is food, but it's like a festival where people normally come, listen to spoken word, and take in wisdom that will change their lives forever. And I'm so happy that a lot of young people are really inspired by the kind of poetry that most of us are doing. So we decided to do that. And when we did that, I don't really consider piling up musicians in my show. If you ask anybody who actually comes to my show, who is a fan, they'll tell you. Most of my shows that I've staged many, but I don't actually invite a lot of artists for people to come and look at the music and appreciate the poetry in the music. No. I feel like you appreciate the poetry or you leave it.
Yeah.
And that is the reason why I don't really have audience in my show. I don't know if this one will be different, but yeah, that's it. So how can we do it? I feel like we should start promoting more spoken word poetry. You understand? Like what you guys are doing, Fine TV. This is amazing. This is one way in which you guys can promote spoken word poetry.
Yeah.
Also, like people like Genius Jaha are doing very well in terms of creating content, passing it to the people. You understand? Myself, I create content, but my kind of content is not visual. You understand? It's I just release my audios and they're on Audio Mark. You understand? I just have a few that I've had on my YouTube. You understand? But then we can do that. Also, let us try to. I'm not saying we should not bring up beginning poets. You understand, like they call them small poets. I'm not saying we should not bring them up, but if you have an event, right, maybe bring them in the opening scene so that when they sit down they also look at the ones that are good at it so that they can learn from it. That is very, very important. But if I am doing my show and I feel like, no, maybe if I call Chernobyl, he's going to charge me 15 grand, which I might not have. No, let me just leave it that because they are big poets and they normally bluff. Conclusion. You understand? So I think these are things that we should do away from. Let us try to invite people who are good at doing it. Also, if we can make content for people to see, they'll be motivated. Also, we normally have some get-togethers that we organize, us poets. You understand? And sometimes we invite people. It's left to you. If you are free, you come. If you are not free, because everybody says they are busy sometimes. So these are ways in which we connect each other. And I will tell you, like, before I started spoken word poetry in 2021, I did not have this close kind of relationship with Chernobyl. But right now, we sit down and chat. How did that happen? Through coming together, accepting that we are all in the same space, and we can grow as a people, so that other countries can also see and recognize. If you are a poet, you are a poet, I'm a poet. If you perform and I see that, there's one thing that you are above me or better than me in, I will take from it because we are in the same circle, and I add it to my element. As we grow, we are growing together as a people, and that is going to, boost the standard of spoken word poetry. But are we doing that?
No. So regarding that, what advice do you have for the young poets that are coming? Because some of them feel like they're already giving up because the support is not there. And most of the time, the young poets will be complaining about these big poets, like they are not supporting them and other stuff. So what inspiration do you have for them?
We know that people like myself, we know that the young poets are saying that the big poets are not supporting. Yeah, I know. Okay, I feel like there's one problem with that. Do you know there's some upcoming poets, right?
Yes.
Who feel like they can do it better than some of the big poets that are there.
Already there, yes.
How can you learn from a master that you think you are better than?
No,
You understand?
Yes.
So basically, I feel like that is something that is challenging them.
Yes.
But also, I feel there is one other challenge with them. Okay, there is this. Let me give you a scenario, right? There is this lady who said is a young poet. It's a they are a poet. And I think the term poet should be revisited. I don't know. People are just using it this day. I'm a poet. I'm a poet. You cannot write better and you cannot perform better. However, maybe that would be. So they said to me, "Hello, how are you doing? I hope you are fine. I have a show. I have a group chat. You know, people create these group chats, especially these young poets. They are very good at that. You know, I have a group chat, and I would like for you to join. I don't know this person. You do not tell me your name. I don't know who you are. I wrote that. Okay. No, I didn't. I think I did not reply the person. The person said again, hi. I said hi. He said, the person said, okay, but I sent you a text message. You did not reply. I said, but I don't know who you are. The person said, no, I thought maybe if I write to you, you also write back, hoping that you can catch up. I said, no, you start by saying, hi, my name is this, I also do that and this and this. Then when I see that message, that will compel me to reply.
Yeah.
You understand? So I feel like these are challenges. For example, you feel like you are bigger than your master, or you feel like, no, maybe they should know me.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
So my advice to them is, let us be patient. One. Number two is let us be humble.
Yeah.
You understand? To learn from people who we know. We know it's not even maslaha or anything. We know that they are better. You understand? Let us be humble and be patient with them.
Yeah.
For example, you guys right now, people might not understand, but your level is a little bit higher than the ones that you are older than, especially some of the people who you've gone to school with, but are not doing the same thing as you. Your setting is busier than them.
Yeah.
How do they understand that? You understand what I mean? Okay, so all that should be considered. You see Chernagay, you want to communicate with Chernagay, but you know Chernagay is a busy man. Obviously, you should know. So when you hit them once, be patient, be humble, try again, and do not complain. Don't go spreading rumors that this person is bad, so yeah, let them be humble, let them be patient. Also, like, let them try and learn, and let them not feel like they're already celebrities when they release one spoken word piece.
Yeah.
You've already released an audio, you passed, you are good. Already now you don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah, I'm there.
Alright? Or you go to a show, people are sitting down in the audience because you release 3 pieces. You feel like, no, you're not going to sit in the audience. You now move around. You are backstage. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
Forget about the hype. Forget about the fame. Sit down, look at those who are performing, and you will learn, because already you are trying to be there. So you don't assume that you are already there when you are at the show and you are moving around greeting people, hyping. And already, when you come, people are, and Gambian people, let me tell you, like, the truth is, Gambian audience are fake. They will come to you telling you that, yo, you are good. It's amazing.
Yes.
All that is just poking you and like, hey, what they are doing is that they are mocking you.
Yeah.
Gambian, I feel like Gambian people, we are not actually real.
Yeah.
Me, that is what I keep telling myself. So, till today, even at this point, if you tell me that, yo, boy, you are good, sometimes I question that.
Yeah.
Because I know, right? You are good, but then you go there, boy, yeah, if I were a spoken word poet, the way this guy is doing it, boy, this one guy, that is what Gambian people do. So I feel like, as upcoming spoken word poets, I think we should be very, very careful of things like that. Yeah.
Okay, now let's get back to yourself. Who is your role model? Like, who inspired you?
Who inspired me? Like I said, when it comes to the Gambia, who inspired me to start writing spoken word poetry or poetry itself was Lamin Barrow. But like, my poetry is deep. You understand? And for those of the people who know me, my poetry is poetry, not spoken word. So that's the reason why a lot of people might not understand.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. It's like when I say 9 lives, fine lines, mind dying, mimics in and or obviously now you are confused. What am I talking about? Okay. So like, I was inspired by Lamin Barrow because he used to do spoken word, but later I went and did more research. And also I did literature from high school. So I know, like, I read Shakespeare's sonnets and, the likes of John Donne. And, I realized that, this is what I feel is poetry, so I started writing like that. So who really inspired me in the Gambia is Lamin Barrow, but also out of the Gambia, who really I love and I like to most of the time follow. He's called Modise Sangote, I think. But he's a South African, amazing poet, amazing poet. No, yeah. So yeah. Outside, but also I watch people like Portia. I think you know Portia is American. Yeah, she's a Nigerian, but I think she was given birth to in America because the dad traveled there. And I watch people like, you know, I think you watch Prince EA. That guy is good too. But what he does is spoken word poetry. You understand? But Modise does like poetry, deep poetry. And there's people like 50 kg, he's also South African. You have the likes of IB Quick Nigeria. You have the likes of Harry. Harry is World Poetry Slam champion in I think 2017. He's the one who did the thing with the numbers 59 and something. Very amazing. Then I also watched this guy. His name is Ezekiel. You know, he is he's a Christian. He does his poetry in he does his poetry, but also he references it in with the Bible stuff. You know, amazing poets. Yeah. So I watch a lot of poets. Watch a lot of poets around. Yeah, I love spoken word poetry.
Okay, that's amazing. Now, can you tell us how you publish your first work?
All right. How I published my first work. So the thing is, I've been writing since 2015.
2015. Wow.
But
you came to the spoken word industry just 2020.
2021.
And that was the same year you attended the poetry.
That was the same year.
And made it to the finals.
That is the same year.
Wow, that's amazing.
And funnily, nobody has trained me on performance poetry.
Wow.
Yeah. But like a lot of people who watch me on poetry stuff will tell me, boy, there is a huge growth between you 2021 and you 2025.
Yeah.
Or 2024. So like, you know, what I wanted to say is I started writing in 2015, and amazingly enough, even in this piece that I just recited right now, I said, this is my 299th masterpiece. I'll be waiting for your master kiss. You understand? So what I meant to say is, this book that I've published, the poems that I wrote in them are written of late, but the poems that I started writing since, almost 300 and something pieces I've forgotten. That phone, I lost it. So like what I meant to say is like I've been writing a long time ago. So I published this book 2024, December. And again, I think almost all the pieces that I've written here are all written in 2024.
Wow.
You know, yeah, because like the truth is almost I write every day. So like in every week I might write maybe let's say 4 minimum 2 pieces in a week.
Writing is like a hobby to you.
I keep writing every day. So if you have my number, most of the people who have my number, they will attest to it. Like on my status, I keep writing. I hardly post myself. I do sometimes, but like most of the time I just write quotes. You know, so almost every day I write. And that is how you grow. You become a master as an interviewer as you keep doing it.
Yeah, sure.
You understand? So I feel like, you know, I've grown because I keep writing. Yeah.
So looking at the title is so captivating, and it's repercussion. So why do you come about with this title? Like other titles are there, but you decided to choose this title. So what's the wisdom behind this title?
Amazing. So remember in the beginning of the interview I told you guys I like challenges.
Yes.
So also I like to be different. So like I've observed a lot of people who write their books, right? And I wanted to stand out. I know already in my writing, if you read my writing, you know I've already stood out in amongst a lot of people who write. So now I said, how can I bring up a title that can maybe like pokes people's curiosity? So I came with this title. So now when you look at this title, it is reap a caution.
Yes.
There's another word called repercussion.
Yeah, sure. That's what I meant.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Reap a caution, repercussion.
Yeah.
Reap, take an advice, caution. Like when you are cautioned to do on something, you have to be careful on how you deal with that. So repercussion, take an advice, or take instructions, but also repercussion, the outcome of whatever you do.
Okay.
You know the human being is beautiful.
Yes.
That is this flower. Flower is beautiful. Roses are so beautiful.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? But what comes out of this roses or this human being? The blood.
Yes.
Whatever you say, whatever you do, You understand what I mean? So now what you say and what you do is what shapes your life to whatever you will become in the future. You understand?
Yeah.
So before I started writing proper spoken word poetry, when I was in class, I'll be writing all over my book. Yeah, like I'll be writing on my cover, then I'll be drawing stuff. So I think also that is one thing that shaped me to become now this kind of writer I am. You understand? So whatever comes from you, what you say, what you do, is the same thing that your life revolves around. So this blood that comes out of you is what is going to feed you, and you will grow as a person.
Yeah.
What you say, what you do. So reap a caution, reap a caution.
So the book is it a combination of only poems, or is it only poems, or you have another thing there different from poetry?
It is all poetry.
Okay.
It is all poetry, but you'll be amazed. And I think I would like for us to look at the shortest piece in it. The shortest piece is called Soup in Truth.
Soup in Truth. Anger takes your eyes, our hearts keep choosing, but ego tops the child as blood comes under pressure. Prayer tames our souls, truth brings us joy, but only God knows that feeling. Your only friend is your nose until it stops to breathe. Everyone sees, but not all see through the heart.
Amazing.
See that?
Yes.
All right. So like this is how I write. I like that every line has to mean something very, very powerful.
Yeah.
Okay. Anger takes your eyes. When you're angry, you don't see anything.
Yeah.
The only thing you see is revenge.
Yes.
Or some of things, anything that can satisfy your desire to pay back.
Yes.
You understand? I said our hearts keep choosing. Boy, your hearts keep choosing.
Yeah.
Whatever you see in this world, whether it's need or desire, or it is need or want, it's your heart that wants it.
Yeah.
So your heart chooses who you love, who you hate, you know, what you're going for. It's your heart, right?
Yes.
Then I said, but ego tops the chart as blood comes under pressure.
Yeah.
When you are so cornered, sometimes when you are sitting with your friends,
Yes.
you are cornered in a chat, in a conversation, right? You feel like you want to retaliate. Obviously, because it's your ego. You don't want to be the one that is defeated.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
So ego tops the chart.
Yeah.
In that kind of situation when you are cornered. You understand? Then I said
Prayer tames our souls.
prayer tames our souls. There is nothing more consoling than when you pray. And when you are at the position of prayer,
Yes.
that is from the heart. When you are praying from the heart, you know, it's so consoling. I know you guys are going for the last 10 days, you know, of this Ramadan. So you understand that feeling, yeah? So I said, truth brings us joy, but only God knows that feeling.
Yeah.
Only God can tell the kind of feeling you feel when you are honest. Imagine the day you lie. You don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, sure.
But when you do something good, you feel so happy that you cannot even express it sometimes. Only God knows that feeling.
Yeah.
You understand? So soup in truth. The next one is
Your only friend is your nose until it stops to breathe.
who's your friend?
Your nose.
But this would have been different if you did not have it, right? But your friend is your nose.
Yes.
Hold your nose for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You want to die. You understand? So your only friend is your nose. It's the only thing that you can believe that it's not going to betray you.
Yes.
Friends can betray. Sometimes even your mind can glitch.
Yes.
But your breath. Do you know what kind of work this nose puts in? You are sleeping and still go on functioning. Alright?
Wow.
So it's amazing.
Everyone sees, but not all see through the heart.
All of us have eyes.
Yes.
How many of us can see through the heart? So basically, that's it. That's it. That's it. Amazing.
It's an amazing book. So the book is already published.
Yes, published.
Can you tell us, a smooth biography or something that people would like to know about the book? And where can we get the book if you want to buy it? Because it's an amazing book that you need to read.
All right, good. So, would you mind to read the prologue? Yeah. This is what I was saying. I would like for us to do something together. All right.
Okay. During the course of writing this anthology, During the course of writing this anthology of my work, I have doubted myself so many times, bearing in mind I have to educate. There is nothing new on the surface of the art. However, in every generation there are those whose third eye is sharper than others. I pray this book qualifies me and enlisting in the category of stages. I started writing poetry in 2015, back in high school. At this point, I do not think I will ever stop. I call myself the last poet king. I know it amuses so many as it is provocative. All I know is it to this belief, this is how I want this world to remember me. Not without flaws, but to everyone a light to touch so much like so much lives on earth. I've been an actor, a debater, a spoken word artist and teacher. So much passion poured from me to hone these abilities. I hope this book becomes the testimony of my breath. Thank you for looking my way, curious enough to want to read my thoughts. Read the surface and in between lines, because trust me, I lived like a king.
Basically, that's it. So that is just a synopsis of this book. And again, if you want to get this book right now, I am looking to take some copies to Timbuktu, where people can access them. Also, like I've been thinking of other very renowned like libraries. The National Library, there's some copies that I left there, but I think for those copies it's not for sale. You just go there, look at it, and yeah. So basically that's it. But if you really want to get it right now, you just contact me and I will get you copies of it.
So each copy is how much?
Each copy is 350, very cheap. But some people complain that it's and like so what I tell people is, you are saying this is expensive. You know why? Because it's not eyelashes. You understand? It's a book. Imagine it was a shoe, like high heels. You would have to spend more. But it's a book, so Gambians we don't really read. So it's the thing. But a lot of people who bought this book, thank God, they say it's amazing. So that alone motivates me and makes me so happy.
I guess that is amazing, and you would like to get a copy of it. So going to the event that you are about to have, like that is the event on third day.
Third day of it.
Yes, at Nusrat. So can you tell us more about the event? Like, what is the event basically on? Is it only poetry, to celebrate poetry and other stuff?
All right, so that's a wonderful question. First of all, when are we praying?
We are yet to know.
Right? So let me make this clear. So any day it is, let's say it is Sunday tomorrow, let's say it is Monday, just start counting from the day that we prayed to the third day. But I'll be releasing also a flyer to make people know that this is what we are doing. So what we are saying is this show, it's Eat Poetry. Now, Eat Poetry is the title, but it's not entirely about poetry. That was a very good question. It's not entirely about poetry. We are having spoken word poetry in it, but we are having drama in it. We are also having comedy in it. We are also having artists who are going to use vocal, not instrumental. Because you see, there's something we need to understand. Poetry can hardly balance with music. When you bring an audience, you ginger them with music. Poetry can hardly compete with that. You understand what I mean? Especially some people's performances who are very dull, like myself. If you perform very, very dull, already an artist came before you, your performance is not going to be so exactly. So that is the reason why we know like the kind of audience that we've selected, the kind of performance that we've selected. So these are the kind of things that we are going to have in it. But also we want like for people to put on their Eid outfit or cultural clothes. When I said Eid outfit, people said, how about those who don't have Eid outfit? You understand? So like, what we are saying is just put on your cultural clothes or your Eid outfit if you have it, and then come to the show. It's going to be amazing, and it's at Nusrat. We are going to start by 4 so that everybody can come enjoy early and go home early, or some people want to go for dinner and go and have your fun if you want to. You understand? So that's it. It's going to be amazing. I feel like even you people should come. Also, you asked about tickets, right? We are not giving pre-sales. So we are only selling at gate because it's Ramadan and hardly is going. People are going to have time already now. People are working on prayers and all that, so we don't have tickets. You only come $150. That is very cheap,
Sure.
huh? For a mediocre poet like myself. You understand? So yeah, it's 150. Put on your either outfit or cultural outfit and come by 4 o'clock and come and enjoy spoken word poetry and also other kind of other related art like comedy, music, drama, those are things, and dancing also. I think we have dancing there for those of you who like to shake.
I believe you said everything about the show.
Yeah.
So, how do you manage to be a spoken word poet and at the same time a writer?
All right. So just like I said, I've been writing since 2015. So writing comes to me easy. Most of the time, when I'm in the car, I'm just writing. So when I'm in the car, I'm just scribbling something, and I don't know if I should say this again. Sometimes I'm so afraid of saying something because when I say, people might think that it's a bluff. But like, I can write a piece in 45 minutes or even less than that. You have 6 stanzas, and most of my stanzas are like, I used to have like 6-7 lines. You understand? Yeah. So like it's I think it's constant practice that made it sometimes. And I would advise anybody who wants to be a poet, right? Meditate.
Yes.
And read. Yes, but when people, most of it, let's read. Reading widens your perspective. You are poor, right? You are living a poor life. You have not experienced a life of the rich. How do you experience that? The book. You get? So now, if you want to be versatile, you have to read a love novel, then read a rich man, rich dad, poor dad. Then you read, for example, a philosophical book like how can I forget this title about? So you read different things that will open your perspective. Then you would have an idea added to the one that you've already formed in your head through thinking, through analysis. Because it's a constant process.
I believe we are already at the tail of the program, and just to remind you all, this is Fine TV Gambia and it's the Poetry Cabinet.
Okay, now moving on, like, what advice will you give to Gambians generally?
So the advice I'm going to give to Gambians with regard to what I do, that is spoken word, I'm going to advise everybody to support. You understand? Support us. And when I say support us, take our wave numbers. Wave us. You understand? Yes. We are selling books. Buy it. Even if you are not going to read, buy and put it on your desk, because that is what the culture is. But support us. Also, we need to support each other.
Sure.
You understand? But also, we cannot support each other as spoken word poets or as poets if the audience are not supporting, because the audience paying tickets, that is the profit that we get and give you some, I have some, you have some, everybody goes happy. But how can I give you some already if there's nothing?
No way.
You understand? Most of the people who you think flop in halls, sometimes what they do is, they end up giving free tickets. You understand? Because those who are sponsoring them, most of the time they buy those tickets, and those tickets money is what they use to cater for the hall. They maybe buy clothes for them because they also need to look good. You understand what I mean? So people need to start appreciating spoken word poetry. When we call for an event, it does not matter who you are. Me, I go to, sometimes I'm not even invited, and most of the time I'm not invited. I'm hardly invited though, to be honest. If you don't invite me, I hear your show, I come to your show. I sometimes meet with your boss there. You understand? I come and sit down, I watch. Even if you invite me to perform, I come and sit in the audience and I watch. You understand what I mean? All that is to show forms of support. But we need to start to support each other. When someone says my ticket is 200, don't say it is costly. 200 is nothing. You understand? If you want to come, 200 is nothing. Just buy the ticket and come. That is a way of supporting. Take my wave number. Say, you know what? It's little, but I want to send you $50. 50. Boy, that is something for me.
Sure.
And that will make me grow. That will even motivate me. So I feel like these are things that we have to do. If we do that, we'll grow.
I believe that's the end of the program. And if you have anything to say, anything to say before we conclude.
Thank you so much. I think you should have enough of what I've said. But thank you. Yeah. I just want to say thank you so much, people, and I want to charge everybody who watches, who follows Fine TV to keep following. Also subscribe. Subscribing also, helps them a lot in terms of marketing their products, but also in terms of reaching the kind of audience that they want to reach. It's the same support that I just said right now. It's also a form of supporting them. So subscribe. If you're not subscribing, press the like button. If you're not pressing the like button, please share or do the three, because that is what we want. And as young people and as a country, that is what we can do. Look at Nigeria; they are ahead of us because they support each other. Gambians should adapt, to support. We are a small country. Imagine we keep supporting each other. Everybody will grow, so that we stop, this illegal migration and all that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ousman Barrow, known as the last poet king, for having you here. And this was the poetry cabinet that comes your way, Fine TV Gambia. And thank you all.